What's good with y'all? RohXO back on loop side. I'm gonna break down something a little unique today. I'm gonna do like a glow type of beat, but like a melodic glow type of beat, like something you hear Uzi on, or Keef obviously, or something more in that field. It's like a little hyper popish, but it's got that brass in there, so it's like a little more unique. But before we get into the beat, I want to talk a little bit about Waves. Now, Waves is a site used to upload loops, samples, stems, things of that sort. So as you can see, it's got like a pretty robust user base right here. So if I just click on any of these, you can see a preview of the kit. You can see like legends like Hoop the Truth in here, No Fuck in here. So I can just click this, you can get like a nice little preview. So I ain't gonna play too much of that, but like we go into the pack right here, and as you can see, you can just get your credits by signing up and simply just hit download, and you can have any of these in your desktop to use, and you can just go crazy on a Hoop the Truth loop or anything. It's really simple. It's got a great UI. I highly recommend it. I upload here myself. You try and check it out. I'm gonna have my link down below, and you can get a discount off that too. So check that out. I'm gonna have that down below. All right, and here's the loop right here: 131 BPM and G sharp minor. So yeah, 131 BPM. First of all, that's kind of like a really standard sort of Chicago drill, like Young Chop sort of BPM as well, like from back in the day. And that's pretty much what this is inspired from anyway, so it's gonna be shit like that. And that's a good BPM to start with. I'd say 130 to 140 is like pretty solid. And then for like a lot of the darker stuff, 150 is cool too. But yeah, I'm gonna break it down, and it's that simple, so I get into it. So yeah, like to keep it like back in the day, these are like a lot of Nexus 2 and shit, a lot of Electra X, you know, like effect tricks for like effects plugins and stuff like that. So kind of like mirrored that, but I use a Nexus 3 because I don't have Nexus 2. If you got Nexus 2, hit me up. I'm interested. But yeah, this is the soft brass one preset right here from Nexus. I turned the reverb off, I think. Yeah, this is what I came up with. Just some really simple minor triads right here with G sharp minor. Just drop this note down a little bit for some variation, and then switch the chord right here, and then right at the end here I invert the A's for this part. So this is what it ends up sounding like. So yeah, it's really simple. It's like really like cheap sounding and stuff, which is kind of like part of that vibe of that old sound. It's kind of what you want to go for. Like you don't want to use something too clean or anything. You want sort of like dirtier brass, but kind of like uplifting, like happy sort of chords and stuff. So yeah, for effects on that, just like a little bit of reverb. I got the Soothe 2 on like max right here at the depth on the less much more size preset, just because it's brass, you know, brass can be like a little abrasive and stuff, so yeah. Then just got like this right here, cutting out some of the lows to add like a little more bass in later. But yeah, next thing right here is the lead from Serum. So I couldn't really find a good lead in Nexus. I tried a bunch of, I tried like Purity and also all this sort of stuff. I couldn't really find anything, so I just went to Nexus. It's from Adapt Sound Kit. I think this is by, well, I mean, there you go, it's by him, so salute to him. And yeah, this is like the pattern I'm playing. So yeah, like it's just pretty much going off a lot of the notes and the chords. It's got that sort of hyper popish Uzi type of vibe, and it kind of like contrasts with the more Chief Keef like arpeggiated chords in the last one. So yeah, like you just really need like a catchy pattern right here, and you can just constantly repeat it. That's like the golden formula. I don't think you want to freestyle too much or like go like ape shit with like the lead or anything. But that's in my opinion. But yeah, and then I just cut these notes up a little bit using the half step, or is it the quarter step actually? Using the quarter step here in the magnet. And yeah, it just makes it like a little glitchy, but it's really subtle, like it's hard to hear anyway. Then yeah, for effects on that, just default reverb, a little bit of pancake. I should turn it down to 40% right here. Then like a little bit of soothe too, less spikes, more sides right there. The next thing is another brass, just like a layer really, and just like kind of a higher layer, just to like give it more impact so you can bring it in and out as a layer. Here's what it sounds like. Yeah, and just repeats. So yeah, just using the chords from the initial brass, sort of stack it. Add this little note for like a little transition right here. Just the C sharp right there, the A sharp right there. It's really simple. It's just something you can bring in and out of the beat for like more impact. For effects on that, just like reverb, and this EQ just cutting out some of the lows right here at 350. Next thing is a pluck right here. See if I can find which one. This one, Waterhouse Pikes. I really like this one actually. I use it a lot. It's just like a really muted, like clean sort of pluck. Here's what it sounds like. Yeah, so like a really simple pattern, and it's just sort of like just going up and down the scale. It just kind of like contrasts with the sort of the chords right here, and yeah, like just create like these simple ear candy sort of patterns when you got like this hyperpop glow type of sound, because the chords themselves are doing a lot, so pretty much everything else is either a layer or it's ear candy. You don't want to have something going too crazy. So that's just my opinion. But yeah, right here, reverb, soothe too. I got it like maxed out. I guess if I don't, it's what it sounds like. Yeah, I get a lot of high end. It kind of cuts it out right there. I even cut it a little bit myself with a little EQ right here. And a little pancake right there and 50%. I think this is another pluck right here. No, it's the hands up bell. So this is like a really classic, famous bell, like Southside. I'm not sure. I think all these guys used to use this bell back in the day. Probably Young Chop too, realistically. It's just this sound. You probably heard it. It's like that famous. But here's the pattern I played. Yeah, just like kind of another counter melody off the chords, a little bit of ear candy right there. Nothing too crazy. For effects on that, a little bit of reverb right here. I added a good Hertz matrix to like widen it because it was kind of lost in the mix without it. And a little bit of soothe too. I mean, a lot of soothe too, to be honest. I'm in love with this plugin, so it like changes your mix completely. I totally fuck with it. But next sound is these stabs. Okay, so for glow, like this is what's gonna separate your like sort of more hyper pop sound. Just kind of like dated anyway. Like no one's really making that shit anymore. Like a more orchestral glow melody. So this is from this pack right here. I just got this off Reddit. So salute to these guys. This pack is crazy. I use it a lot. But here's the pattern it sounds, and it just really follows the bass notes of the chords. So. Yeah, like it's got that impact, which is why like I cut a lot of the lows out. I got on the cut itself, which is important right here because it'll like it overlaps a lot right this end part. But yeah, really just follow the bass notes and just try to find like these sort of stabs on Reddit. I have them in my drum kit too, but like not to this degree. So I recommend you go out and search for some. But yeah, this is what's gonna make your glow melodies like really glow. You feel me? Whether it's dark or like orchestral, like this more uplifting one or whatever. Yeah, finally I got the Tubular Bell right here with this little yeet bell, same bang, same drum kit rather. So salute to them. That's what it sounds like. So yeah, it's really just for impact on these notes right here, just to add that oomph. Right at the end, I do a little bit of like a transition, but it's like that simple. So yeah, all together you have that melody. I'm gonna get into the drums now. So these are the drums right here for the beat, like this is the whole beat. And this is really like important because this isn't like a usual trap beat. Glow is like pretty different in general, so here's what it sounds like. First thing I start with a crash, and for a normal trap beat I never start with a crash, but in glow beats it's essential pretty much to have this crash. It's kind of like what makes that sound. Like the Chicago drill sound or the new glow sound or whatever. These crashes are really important. This is the specific crash they use generally. So here's what it sounds like. Yeah, that's pretty much the pattern I go for. It repeats there. It's important to note that I put it on cut itself again, just so I don't want to overlap too much. Then for effects, I like to put reverb on it, just like soften it since it's playing so much. Otherwise it'd get like too much. And then like I lift this a little bit. I do that for a lot of my drums too. So yeah, the crash is really important for the bounce of it, so just take note of that. They use it in a lot of old Chicago drill beats, new glow beats, whatever you like. So then we got like this main snare right here. So it's just this chop snare, which again, really like big in Chicago drills, is like Young Chop's sort of signature snare from back in the day. They use this in like UK drill and shit too. So yeah, here's what it sounds like. Yeah, so like even got like that little drill bounce right at the end there, a little bit, kind of, not really, but yeah, you can, if you have the BPM at a certain amount, like it's not too high, you can just put it on these odd notes right here just for like a little more bounce. Yeah, I remember just play with the velocities for these bounce notes, but yeah, pretty simple. Next thing is the bounce snare, and this is essential. Like the snares usually go crazy in this. I didn't go super crazy since the melody is already like kind of a lot, but here's what I got. So yeah, like it's just got like that little drill bounce right here. Then I use a little 6-beat roll. Just fuck with the velocities a little bit right there. And I do a little step roll right at the end here. Just yeah, like a little step, you know. Then I follow that up like a little more right here at the end, just to like give it that really like 8 bars or anything sort of feel. And yeah, that's really common in these old sort of trap beats, old Chicago drill beats, or the new glow beats too, like they're bringing them back. It's just like these snare rolls kind of go crazy, so yeah, just keep that in mind. Oh, and I'm just gonna plug like my series of hi-hat MIDI kits. Snare MIDIs are in there too, so all these snare MIDIs, hi-hat MIDIs, perk MIDIs, little flat MIDIs even, like that's all in there. So they're 100% free, so I'm gonna put that in the description, so check those out. But yeah, check out the drum kit too, because this is my drum kit, so 100% free as well, obviously. So fuck with that. I had an open hat right here. This is like the sort of chop one, like the one Young Chop would use, where it layers a triangle in an open hat. And back in the day, so here's what it sounds like. And yeah, it's just layering that clap and then playing the next one. I should play everything together, to be honest, so let me play all these drums that I got so far. And for these Chicago drill beats, like, you don't even need the hi-hats at that point to really get the bounce of it. There should be a lot of bounce even without the hi-hats. So if there's no bounce without the hi-hats, then you gotta add like a little more, you feel me? These beats are usually kind of like packed with like random shit too, so keep that in mind. It's like that Zay chant from back in the day, you know? Yeah, it's like that really like famous one they use in like Pluck beats too, like Plug and B, all that sort of shit. So here's what it sounds like. This plays right before this second clap right here. So yeah, just like really simple. For that, I usually like change the start of the sample just because I think there's like a little bit of delay for it, and yeah, I never mentioned this, but for almost all my drums, except like the 808 and the kick, I'll put this clip on and boost it 5%. The 808, I usually just boost it. I don't intend to clip on just because it makes it sound really distorted and fucked up. But yeah, that's what I do for a lot of my drums. Just keep that in mind. Add another snare right here in the gaps just because, you know, like it a little crazy is what it is. And this is from drum kit I mentioned earlier, so salute to them. This it's like a glow sort of drum kit. So yeah, here it is. Yeah, this one is pretty simple, just like a little more bounce to it. And yeah, so finally we have the 808, and it's like a unique 808 for like back in the day. I didn't use a spin or a Z or anything like that. It's like a sort of a subby 808. And it's kind of like what they would have used for like an older sort of trap beat from them. But yeah, here's what it sounds like. Dead simple, just following those root notes. Just like a little transition at the end where I lift it a little bit and do like a slide right here. To do a slide, pretty sure most of you know this, but you just double click a note and you hit, you know, one of these two and it'll slide down to whatever note you want. But yeah, like I just keep it like really simple for that 808 just because there's a lot going on with the snares and all the crashes and the melody too, and yeah, don't need to do too much there. I got this old ass like almost like meme worthy like perk right here too, because it sounds like. That's really some shit they used back in the day too. So the little hi-hat sort of thing, because it's like a hi-hat in there too. But, you know, yeah, just like keep it like sort of unique. I use that kick right here, normal right kick. Here's what it sounds like. Pretty much just that. Lost few sounds right here. Little rim at the end. I think you all know this rim. It's used in a lot of beats, especially at this portion right here. I'm gonna skip to it. So yeah, like really just gives that like sort of transition sort of sound. It's a lot of snares being layered here, but it just gives more impact to it. Remember to play the velocities. It makes it like a lot more, gives it a lot more movement basically. But yeah. Last thing finally is a hi-hat, and yeah, these beats don't do too much with a hi-hat. You can generally leave it on C, add a few rolls here and there, and like longer rolls too make it sound hard. What I really just did here is use the 6th beat and just dragged it here. Here I just dragged it a little longer, and for this last bit I dragged it even longer, so here's what it sounds like altogether. Yeah, you don't need your hi-hats turned up too much for these beats. They generally keep them kind of low just for all the other shit going on. So yeah, it's gonna be a little hectic. But yeah, you can keep it down generally. You can turn it up to whatever you feel. But yeah, that's like mostly the beat right there. In terms of like risers and stuff, I use like some more traditional like 2000 sort of risers and shit. So this is from that same kit I mentioned earlier, the glow kit. So salute to them. I use this riser right here. Then I use this one. I think everyone knows this one. You know, like the one Metro even uses and all that. So yeah, pretty much just that. Remember for these bridges and stuff, just get your snares involved. Like for arrangement, I had like these the crashes always play during the bridge. I bring in that triangle open hat, bring in this snare like kind of early, and then have like this sort of snare playing too, and the ZRM just to give it like that really like transition sort of drop sort of impact. So I'm just playing the whole bridge actually. I'm playing from a little earlier. This is like the first part of the intro, the second part. So this is the bridge right here. just to give it that impact. You feel me? That's the beat. Let me know what you think about it. It's a little different. I don't make anything like that too often, but yeah, that's something like Uzi would hop on, Keef would hop on, something like that. So let me know if you fuck with it. Let me know what else you want to see. Check out Waves. Check out my Glow series. I'm gonna link all the kits that are out so far in the description. I'm gonna link my latest hi-hat mini kit in the description. Drum kit. I'm gonna just go crazy with the plugs for me. Waves. You know, always fuck with Waves. Check that out. And yeah, stay looped in. Peace out. That shit nice one.